You may have eaten cherries, and you know that 99% of the cherry during the Chinese New Year is Chile. But what you may not know is that the shelf life of fresh cherry is only 5 to 6 days, and Chile is almost the farthest country to China on the planet. Chile's cherry must be nearly 20,000 kilometers to reach China. It takes 25 days to spend the Pacific's shipping alone. So, how does the cherry span thousands of mountains and waters and maintain it for a month without rotting? To successfully complete the global travel and still maintain a perfect state of water, cherry needs to be prepared during the planting stage. The cherry species grown in Chile have been screened layer by layer. Deliciousness is the primary goal, but high hardness and cortical storage are also rigid demand. The hardness of the main species of Santina, Labsbing, and Ligia sodium is 2 to 3 times that of ordinary cherry hardness. Selection of high-grade varieties is the first step in the long-term preservation period of Chile. It is not enough to choose a variety well, and you need to take the next step in countering cold. After the cherry is picked, the maturity stops, and it will not be more cooked like apples and kiwi, but will slowly corrupt. There are 2 reasons for corruption. One is the metabolism of the cherry itself, and on the other hand, the infection of microorganisms and pests. When the cherry was picked, Chile's high temperature and high humidity environment made the cherry metabolism. The first stop of the so-called cherry trip to China is to take a cold bath first. The so-called cold bath is to reduce the temperature of cherry to 6 to 7 degrees Celsius with 0 water, then transport it to the refrigerator, and use cold wind to further reduce to 0 degrees. When the cherry is around 0, the metabolism is slow and the freshness remains the best. Washing can also be washed away the dirty things such as the dust, microorganisms, and eggs adsorbed on the cherry surface. After taking a shower, you should send the cherry to the medical examination. The grades automatically perform optical grading through computer analysis size, color, hardness, defect, and other data. The hierarchical reference is the guide of the Chilean Cherry Commission, mainly depending on the diameter of cherry, from small to large L, XL, G, 2G, 3G, 3G, 4G, 5G. So D represents dark colors. After dividing the level, it is the last step before the cherry on the road to transport. It is necessary to ensure that the cherry is not bumpy, non-rotten, and pollution during the road. This requires the use of air conditioning technology to install the cherry into a special seal packaging. By adjusting the gas composition in the packaging, the oxygen content is reduced, the concentration of carbon dioxide is increased, the respiratory effect of the cherry is suppressed, and prevent the fruits from degrading water and brown, keep green. This is like preparing a space cabin for cherry, so that they live in the best water vapor conditions. After transportation, classification, and packaging, cherries will officially embark on a journey to China. After experiencing a 10th-5-day ocean trip, they will reach various ports in China, and then quickly operate to warehouses and markets through refrigerated cars. In the process, the cherry enjoyed the cold chain transportation throughout the process. In the freight ship to the port warehouse, and then to the refrigerator, the temperature was accurately controlled between 0 to 4 degrees Celsius, and the intelligent detection system was monitored in real time. The water heat conditions during the cold chain transportation allow the cherry to enjoy the first-class treatment throughout the process. After set foot in China's land, Chilean cherry also needs to withstand the last test customs quarantine. Cherry is a plant-active food with biological safety and food safety risks. The General Administration of Customs of China has strict quarantine standards, from the planting environment to transportation measures, from pesticides, chemical fertilizers to harmful residues, and the test coverage of the General Administration of Customs. Chile, with the standards of Chinese customs to plant, produce, packaged, and transportation, cherries controlled factors such as microorganisms and pests that affect freshness at the source. Under the strong control of the Chinese customs, Chilean cherry is not only safe and hygienic, but also has extremely high customs clearance efficiency. From the launch of the cabinet to the gate, the fastest time is only 10 minutes, and the cities around the port can be covered in 5 hours. Main fruit and vegetable market. All the above efforts have extended the shelf life of the cherry from the original 5 to 6 days to the amazing 60 days. In these 60 days, cherries have been picked, packaged, inspected, quarantine, transportation, and sold up and down. Until the end you bought it, it can even keep it in your refrigerator for about a week. Why is cherry a month, not rotten to China for a month? Of course, it is because of the combination of black technologies such as cold, air conditioning, biological preservation, cold chain transportation, and intelligent monitoring, but it is also because of China's strong consumption power and increasing the right to speak globally. The famous Chilean fruit manufacturer admits that the Chinese market is very important for Chile. 93% of Chile sold to China, accounting for 31% of Chile's total exports of agricultural products. The development of the Chinese market not only drives the exports of Chile colcita, but also forced the entire industry to comprehensively improve the level of technology, logistics, and management. Behind this red and hot cherry, it is technology and wisdom, allowing deliciousness to cross Wanli Mountain Sea. It is trade and cooperation, making the world's distance no longer far away.